Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a DIY for dip dye ombre shorts, which are really trending this summer. They're super popular and they're fun and bright. These shorts have been super popular this summer and usually retail at stores for around $100. So I decided to show you guys how you can make them yourselves at home. Here's everything that you'll need to get started. You will need a pair of white shorts, and I just picked up this pair for $9.99 at TJ Maxx. Or if you have a pair of white pants that you don't really care about, you could cut those off and use those. You will need a bowl or a bucket, basically something that you can put dye in that you will not be using for any kind of food use. You will need 2 boxes of fabric dye. I just picked up this RIT dye. I believe it was about $3 a box at my local Michael's craft store, and I picked it up in the colors purple and petal pink, but you can use any colors that you'd like. You're also going to need brads or studs if you want to do studding on the back pockets like I did. I picked up 2 packs of brads at Michael's craft store. You will need some gloves. I just picked up a bag of gloves at the dollar store. Lastly, you will need some iodized salt, which you can pick up at your local grocery store. Now let's get started. Okay guys, so I've got my pair of white shorts here that I got at TJ Maxx. White is easier to use than denim, only because obviously you don't have to bleach them first to get the really awesome ombre effect, and the colors are gonna show up better on white. So I bought these. They already had sort of like a little bit of the distressing at the bottom, but I've added some holes here, as you can see, just like some slits that I cut with these scissors. And then I just opened them like this, and I just basically raked them along the opening to sort of just fray them out. Of course, you can do this along the bottom as well. Just pick out some of those strings if yours aren't already pre-frayed on the bottom. And then I'm gonna go ahead and flip them over because I am gonna be doing a little bit of studding here on the back pocket. And I'm going to cut the pocket open on one side only, on the outer edge, and I'm only gonna do one pocket. So I'm gonna do this right pocket right here. These are some dull scissors. Right like that, and then the pocket is gonna lay down like so. Do another little hole just to show you guys right here on the side. So just fold the shorts, pinch them like this, and then take your scissors and cut, and you can see that you've created a slit, and then you can make it as long as you want to. And then I'm just gonna distress them by just placing the scissors like this and pulling it towards me. And you can see how that's fraying the denim, bringing the strings out, which is the look that we want. And you can see now you've got that nice frayed opening. Okay, so I think we've distressed our shorts enough. We're just gonna go ahead, obviously, and take the tag off, and now we're gonna go over and start the dip dye process. Guys, so now we are in the kitchen to start the actual dyeing process of the shorts. And of course, I have my gloves on. You can get a whole pack of these at the dollar store for just $1. Definitely wear gloves because you don't want to dye your hands. I have my 2 packages of RIT dye. I have one in petal pink and one in purple. Okay, so I'm going to be dyeing the bottom of the shorts first, and I'm going to be doing them in the purple, and then the pink is going to go on the top. So I'm going to do the purple dye first. I'm basically just going to run my water until it is hot, hot, hot. I'm talking steaming, really hot, almost dangerous water. So definitely make sure not to burn yourself, but it's got to be really hot and steamy for the dye to be able to pick up. So definitely run your water, or if you want, you can actually boil a couple of gallons of water on the stovetop. While the water is heating up, just go ahead and put your dye into your bowl. It's gonna look like this. And you're gonna also wanna add 1/4 cup of your iodized salt. So mix it all up. The smell is atrocious. So I'm going to be taking my shorts, and I'm basically just going to be dip dyeing the bottom of them because I do want to do sort of like a pink purple ombre. So I'm just going to go ahead and dip the bottom in. It for about 5 minutes. And the leaf blowers are coming, so Kisu is on the move. And I'm just letting them soak for as long as possible, only because I really want these colors to be vibrant. I'm not really so much going for pastel. I kind of pull the shorts up a little bit after 2 minutes and just make sure that the very ends are the darkest purple, which is gonna almost give us like a sort of ombre effect. So this is what we've got right now that we're done with the purple. Just set these right like this, and dump the dye out, and we can get started on the pink. Pour our 1/4 cup of iodized salt so that we can get started on our pink. And just open up our dye pack, our pink dye packet. So now our pink is all mixed up, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna dip dye the top of the shorts. Flip them upside down. And just dunk them in. Use your fingers to sort of make sure that the fabric's all in there, but just be careful not to burn yourself. I'm just gonna hold it in probably for closer to 5 minutes. So I'm gonna start timing now. So it's been about 5 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out. Wring them out, get all the dye out. And this is what they look like after being dip dyed. You can see that they're really vibrant purple and pink. And now I'm just gonna go put them in the bathroom on a old towel. Okay, so now we're done with the dip dyeing process. Make sure that you Clorox your sink with some bleach after you're done dip dyeing, just because you think that there's no colored dye there, but trust me, I just wiped up and there was a ton of purple dye that I just couldn't see. Oh, Kissy's checking it out. Hey, baby. Okay, so here in the bathroom, I've just got them laying on an old blue towel, like it's like a garage towel. Make sure that you use a towel, obviously, that you don't care about. I'm just gonna let these sit overnight. I know that the dye packets tell you to basically wash these out with cold water as soon as you're done, but I really want the dye to settle. I want these to be bright, so I'm gonna let them sit overnight, and then tomorrow morning, I'm gonna come back and rinse them out with really cold water. So the shorts are dry now. And now I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the studding. And I actually just bought these little brads at Michael's. These are like really, really tiny square shaped silver studs. I really wanted like bigger pyramid ones, but they didn't have any available at our craft store. I'll show you really quickly, because these are just like a typical brad or a typical stud. So I'll just show you how you put them in. So this is what your brad is gonna look like. It's gonna have the stud, the pretty side on one side, and then on the other side, you're basically gonna have like these prongs. And what you're gonna do is just stick the prongs right through the shorts. And they should go through really easily, almost like a needle would go through. You guys can see it has poked through on the other side. And then just hold it and you can pull the little prongs down to the side. If you want them to be really super secure, you can use like a mallet, a hammer here, and you can just beat down the prongs so that it's a little more secure. But anyways, now we have our stud. Okay, so changed my mind. I decided to stud here along where I cut the pocket and made the fold because I was feeling inside of the shorts while I was studying, and these were definitely going to be poking me in the ass. So I just decided to go ahead and just stud where I cannot get poked, which would be on this outer pocket. I recommend, if you're going to stud, that you're either gonna A, sew over the back of them inside of the shorts, or B, you just don't add them there. You add them where I'm adding them, on an outer pocket. So right now I'm just going through and I'm studding this outer pocket that I cut because I am anti-ass stabbing. Hey guys, so I am officially done with my DIY dip dye shorts, and this is how they turned out. You can see that they're like almost like a pink fading into a purple dip dye ombre short. And this is the back. And you can see that I have the one pocket, and then I have studded around the pocket with the little baby studs that I got at Michael's. So I think they're really cute. I really like the way that they turned out. They're just fun, bright. Definitely this is my first time, so they're not perfect. But that's the beauty of DIYs, and that's also the beauty of just like dip dyeing or tie dyeing shorts. I mean, it's not supposed to be perfect. Every pair is gonna look different. But I think that this pair is really bright and fun. Go ahead and list everything that I used in the below bar, so if you need any details or information, that is down there. And if you love this DIY video and you'd like to see more, be sure to comment down below and let me know, and happy crafting! Bye guys! I just tied my shirt up so you could see how the shorts look like actually on me, and I think that they're super cute. They're really comfy, and I think they just add that bright pop of fun color. So this is what the back looks like. See the little studding detail there just adds a little something to the pocket. So that's what they look like.